Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new video. Today we are here with part 32 of our F1 2021 MyTeam Career mode, getting ready for the Japanese Grand Prix. It's been quite a while since I've done one of these videos. I got very busy and didn't really have enough time to juggle the multiplayer championship and my team, but we are back finally. I've been looking forward to getting back here, so yeah, let's get into it. You can see there in the championship standings, Sainz is third and I myself am sixth. We've had a bit of a rough run so far. We sort of seem to be just off of the top pace, so hopefully we're able to sort of work that out and get ourselves sort of a bit further up the field, because yeah, I think we're out of this championship fight. It'll take a lot of luck and a lot of consistent results to get up there. You can see on paper our car is the best, but when we get onto track, it's not sort of really replicated there. Neither myself or Sainz are really able to get right to the very top of the field. So hopefully this time out in Japan we can change that. Yeah, let's move on to the race.
It's race day yet again, and joining me for a chat, Anthony Davidson. And our racers are certainly in for a rough day today. What will you be watching for as they go down into turn one?
Well, the start of the race is always one of the most nerve-wracking parts. You have to hope that everyone is able to get off to a clean start, and this is possibly the trickiest part of the entire race. So many drivers in such a small space, and finding your braking point into turn one as well. It's a testament to the driver's skill that there aren't more incidents.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and starting alongside in P2 is Sebastian Vettel. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Hamilton, Valtteri Bottas, Benjamin, Verstappen, Perez, Raikkonen and Lance Stroll, Ricciardo, Tsunoda, Carlos Sainz and Giovinazzi. Mick Schumacher, Gasly, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Esteban Ocon and George Russell. Fernando Alonso, Latifi, Mazepin and Nobuharu Matsushita. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
We're still in with a chance of winning the title. We need you to push as hard as you can in the 5 remaining races.
So here we are now on the grid for the Japanese Grand Prix, and as you can see we are in P6. Sainz did get that penalty that put him right down the field, so that's a bit of a shame for our teammate, but you'd have to assume everyone's going to have to take penalties at some point. Yeah, as I was saying, our pace just not quite up there with the front guys, so sitting P6, sort of mid-top 10. That's where we've sort of been all season, and it's very cool to see the two Ferraris right up front. Lando Norris, championship leader, is starting in third, so this could be a very interesting race. As we go to 5 red lights, away we go for the Japanese Grand Prix. We are on the soft compound tyres compared to a lot of these guys around us on the mediums, so we've got a good launch as we head into turn 1, just not quite able to get to the inside of Lewis Hamilton there. He's just about kept it ahead. Of course, we both have Mercedes power, so yeah, just wasn't quite able to get a good enough start to get properly alongside. We just keep it ahead of Max Verstappen as well, who's looking a bit punchy at the start of this race. So hopefully we're able to hold him off as we chase down the two Mercedes here. You can already see the two Ferraris up ahead are already starting to pull ahead of a bit of a gap. Since they sort of did that sort of rebranding of that livery at their home race in Italy, they've been very much on top of it, and they're looking like they could be going for a 1-2 here in Japan as well. So sort of good to see the Italian team doing a bit better in this second half of the season. You can see having a look at a move on Lewis Hamilton into the hairpin, but deciding a little bit better against it. We're going to tuck him behind and have a look what we can do down the back straight here. You can see there's a yellow flag in the hairpin. I think that's just because everyone was going so slow. Maybe there was a bit of contact between someone and a bit of debris. Not really too sure. I couldn't find anything. But we're going to continue on. There's no safety car or anything, so just continuing business as usual as we head out of Spoon Curve onto this back straight here. We are right in behind Lewis Hamilton. We're using our ERS, going right up behind that Mercedes. I'm going to pull to the inside as we head towards 130R, and we do get the move done on the inside. They're running a little bit wide on exit, but in the end we do keep it ahead of Lewis Hamilton. So that is us now into P5, and now chasing down the other Mercedes of Valtteri Bottas, who, funnily enough, we happen to find ahead of Hamilton as Leclerc sets the fastest lap and leads the way onto lap number 2. Now you can actually see we're closing a fair bit onto Bottas here, so maybe conserving a bit more energy, maybe not using overtake mode there down the straight. But you can see as we head on to lap 2, very similar situation to Hamilton here. We are closing heaps down this back straight, just not going to be quite close enough to go for a move into 130R this time, but we are right behind, and we might be able to go for a dive here into the chicane. Not quite. Bottas just sort of parks at mid-track very cleverly there, and we're just going to have to wait and bide our time as we head down the main straight, trying to get the best possible run we can. Leclerc sets the fastest lap of the race again, so those Ferraris are really showing pace, as I've already said. They're going real quick as we go to the outside of turn 1 of Valtteri Bottas, so we're going to be able to sweep around the outside with the softer compound tyres. He's going to certainly put up a fight for it. You can see still going side by side at this point. We're going to have the inside for the left-hander here, and Bottas trying to keep it in there. We do just get ahead though. You can see that soft compound tyre advantage coming into play there. This is why I started on this tyre. I wanted to try and get ahead of these guys, and hopefully later on in the race we'll pit onto either the mediums or hards. I haven't decided yet, and yeah, hopefully we can sort of keep track position from that point onwards. It'll be interesting to see as well what those medium guys do, because I don't think there's going to be enough time for them to pit onto the soft tyres. I think they won't get far enough into the race onto those mediums. But you can see here on lap number 9 now, not a lot happened after I passed Bottas. So we've cut to lap 9 now, where we're coming in for our pit stop. You can also see Sebastian Vettel in the other Ferrari also coming in. He was also on the soft compound tyres. I believe Leclerc is also on softs. Lando, I can't quite remember. I think he's on mediums, so I think, yeah, a lot of these guys in the top 10s actually qualified on the mediums and starting on the mediums as well. So yeah, we've got a couple different strategies playing out across the field. It's going to be real interesting to see how it all comes together come the end of the race. You can see Yuki Tsunoda retires from his home Grand Prix there, just off to the right. It looks like probably an engine failure or something. It's a bit of a shame for him at his home Grand Prix, but we're going to cut on now towards the end of lap number 10. We are closing in on Esteban Ocon. He's on the soft tyres. He hasn't made a pit stop yet though. Same with George Russell just up ahead, so hopefully we can clear these guys quickly and they don't lose us too much time. You can see there goes Ocon into the pit lane. We get very close to the rear of that Alpine. I didn't want to back out because I don't want to lose any time. There goes Raikkonen. He's in the pit lane, and we are closing in on George Russell. We're now in P12. Obviously, there's still plenty of people ahead that haven't pit as well, but at the moment on track, we are sitting in P12, just trying to find a way around this Williams. I don't want to lose too much time, but you can see I've had to wait almost half a lap at this point to get anything done with Russell. It's not the easiest track to overtake on in that first sector, and you can see we're actually not going to wait around too long. I'm going to try and go on the spoon, but just not quite having the overspeed, of course. Again, we've both got that Mercedes power unit, so we don't have any real advantage there. Just checking.
Tyre condition is still looking good.
You can see they're checking the vehicle condition just to make sure I didn't get any front wing damage from that little tap, and luckily we did seem to get away with that just fine. So as we head into the chicane now, full confidence on the brakes and actually deciding to back out of it, and we're going to go for the crisscross on George Russell and get the better exit out of the final corner, and we do get ahead now as we head on to lap number 12. You can see another car or two in the pit lane there, and that is us now up into P9. Vettel up ahead is also on the hards. You can see Sainz is in P7 on the mediums. He also hasn't pit. He started on the mediums as well. You can see here at the end of lap 12, he comes in as well as Daniel Ricciardo. And I can't quite tell who else is in the pit lane. I imagine there'll be a few medium runners coming in. It looks like Verstappen and Hamilton just up ahead there have also just finished their pit stops as they head back out on the track. We should come out ahead of Sainz. You can see that he's onto the hard tyres. So a lot of these guys, yeah, you can see also there Ricciardo on hard tyres. So there's not going to be a massive, massive tyre advantage between us and the guys that started on mediums. It's just they'll have those extra 5-6 laps of tyre freshness, which could be crucial coming into the race. You can see there comes Valtteri Bottas. We've just come out ahead of the Finn, so luckily didn't lose any time there. I was a little worried about maybe the mediums lasting enough that they would be quicker than the fresh hards, but we have actually kept it ahead of Valtteri Bottas there, and it's stayed pretty much the same gap to what we had. So yeah, we can keep our eyes down now as we sit in P4 and try and chase down Lando Norris for that final podium position. So far, this race has turned out pretty well for us. We're just going to go through a running order. It is Leclerc and Vettel in the 1-2 positions for Ferrari, doing very well here in Japan. I'm sure they'll be very happy about that. There is Lando Norris in P3, and then just behind, about 3 seconds behind, is us in P4. We've got Bottas closing in on the back of us. Bottas is going a bit quicker than us at the moment. We've also lost time to Lando, so we're going to have to really get ourselves going if we want to try and close in onto that podium. Hamilton's in 6th with the 2 Red Bulls of Verstappen and Perez in 7th and 8th. Latifi's actually doing well there. I'm not sure if he's pit yet. He's in P9. Ricardo is in 10th, and Sainz, our teammate, still not in the points yet. He seems to be struggling this race to move up the field, as well as Ricardo. If you remember, earlier on in the season, Ricardo was leading the championship, so real interesting to see him right down there, only currently scoring 1 point for McLaren as we set the fastest lap on lap 17. So finally I've sort of gotten into a rhythm with his hard compound tyre as we set the fastest lap. And you can see on lap 19, again we set the fastest lap, and we are only just over a second to Lando as we now cut to the end of lap 20. We are right on the back as we set the fastest lap again. We're going to have DRS. We're going to go to the inside here and try and make the move into P3. We've got ourselves on the podium as we just about keep it ahead. And Lando's Lando's come back at us here. We're going to keep going side by side on exit. That was a beautiful crisscross maneuver there from the young Brit. And we're going to have to tuck back in behind Lando as he gets the move back on us. So very, very close and intense racing though. I thought we had the move done as we came out of turn 1, but Lando, with that just different approach to the corner, was able to get himself back underneath us for the inside of turn 2 there. And we're now on to lap 22. We're once again going to have a look here. We're going to go to the inside again. No, we're going to go to the outside this time, and try and throw Lando off as we go around the outside. He's going to hold the inside, very similar to last time out. We're going to be going side by side out of turn 2 there, and Lando actually gets a massive run around the outside there. We're going to try and do the same, and we're just not going to quite have the grip. As we head through the SS session, you can see I'm fighting and fighting, I'm pushing, but here we've got the inside, and yeah, just that outside line is just a lot better. So sure, we're alongside here, but Lando, with this inside line, I'm just going to have to back out because you cannot get cut two cars through there without any sort of contact. So we have to wait out and just bide our time here as we head to the end of lap 22. Lap 23, we're a lot closer than we were last time though. We have to be careful if we battle too much. Bottas behind is going to get in on this battle. So you can see we're going to go to the inside here of turn 1, and we're going to get the move done. Not quite, we've run a little bit deep. Lando is going to get the opportunity to come back at us again, but I do not want to let him. I'm going to really push through this section, and we do finally get the move done on Lando Norris for 3rd place here in the Grand Prix. So Lando put up a massive fight, and it's not going to end there either. You can see Bottas is on the back of this battle now. We battled too much, and Lando is going to have a look at us here. He's going to go to the inside. No, we're going to go defensive as he tries to have a look. So he's going to go to the outside. We're going to go side by side through turn 1, and we've spun. We've hit Lando and Bottas. There's damage everywhere. There's the front wings flying around. Everything has gone haywire. We've lost heaps of positions. The safety car has been called out. This has been an absolute disaster for us here. We're holding up cars behind us as well. Luckily, it wasn't a super massive pile-up, but we've got absolutely no front wing. We're going to have to come in at the end of this lap for a pit stop. I can't believe that we've completely thrown away a podium position for this race. You can see, having a look from Lando's perspective, he's done nothing wrong there. You can see he just gets hit out of absolutely nowhere and gets spun around, and eventually sees Bottas there with no front wing. Bottas doesn't have a front wing either. So let's have a look from Bottas's perspective. You can see myself and Norris battling away, and I've just lost it on that inside curb, backed it into Lando, and Bottas didn't really have anywhere to go. The whole track was taken up there. So that absolutely was 100% my fault there. There's no one else you can blame for that incident. That was just real unfortunate that yeah, just got too much on that inside curb, and just completely lost all traction and spun around and hit Lando and Bottas. So yeah, I guess I got to apologise to those guys, but our race has been completely screwed as well. You can see new front wing. We got to chuck on a set of medium tyres. There's only going to be 2 laps to go when this safety car comes in, but we don't have any fresh softs left. So I've decided to go with the fresh medium tyres. You can see Bottas ahead of us is on soft tyres. I'm not sure if that's probably a fresh set of softs because he qualified on those mediums and started the race on those mediums. So we're out in P12 at the moment, which isn't bad, but you can see the safety car hasn't waited for us. Obviously, there's not very long left in the race, so they've all started, but myself and Bottas are absolutely nowhere near him. So I thought maybe we'd have the pace to go for maybe a top 5 even, but now we're going to have to try and push to get into the top 10. You can see we've got Bottas ahead of us, but again, he's on a faster compound of tyres, and there's no DRS to help us close in on him. So we're just going to have to try and use the slipstream. And then Gasly is a whopping 3.5 seconds ahead. So with 2 laps to go, this is going to be a massive fight to just get 1 point here. And it could be either Gasly, Bottas, or myself at this point. We've got Giovinazzi behind us. He won't have the pace to close in on this battle and get anything out of it. You can see already now onto the last lap. There's only just about over half a lap to go. And Bottas is right on the back of Gasly, but he can't get past. So now I'm on the back of this. Raikkonen's actually just up ahead for P9. So I'm going to go for a massive dive here on Bottas and try and catch him napping. This is what I have to do if I want to try and get this point. There's a little bit of contact with myself and the Mercedes on the exit of the hairpin, but we have made the move up into P11, and now we've just got to try and find someone to get the move done on Pierre Gasly, but we're just not quite on the back of him yet. We're going to see Charles Leclerc is going to come around to finish in first place for Ferrari there. Great race for him. Sebastian Vettel's going to finish P2, so it's a 1-2 for Ferrari as we head down the back straight. Are we going to have the speed to get Gasly? He's got a toe on Raikkonen, which is helping him, but I'm going to put my nose in there anyway. He backs out of it, we do get the position, and are we able to maybe even search for a P9 off of Raikkonen? Maybe not quite, though, unfortunately. One more corner, and we could have had P9 there, but it's going to be a P10 for us. What a disaster that race ended up being for us.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
That's a fantastic performance from Ferrari. It hardly looked in doubt. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Ferrari are at it again. An excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there.
So here we are with the results for the Japanese Grand Prix. As I said, it's a 1-2 for Ferrari, the Italian outfit, having an incredible weekend, taking away almost max points except for the fastest lap. Sainz ended up actually getting quite up there in P7, so a decent haul of points for him there, but he's going to lose some points in that driver's title fight. Ourselves, we're definitely out of it at this point, in 10th place there. A track that we should have been on the podium, absolutely. We had the pace for P3, and I feel like setting those like fastest laps, I set like 3 or 4 fastest laps almost in a row there, we probably could have had the chance to chase down the Ferraris. So yeah, really bummed that we ended up making that contact, but as I said, it was completely my fault. You can see Lando, at least he was still sort of able to finish up there in P5 and bring home 10 points. Obviously, Lando's the championship leader. As you can see, he now has a 34-point lead in the championship. Max has brought that down a little bit, but he's still got well over 1 race worth of points cushion in his championship lead. As I just said, Max is in second. Sainz is in P3 still, so good to see he was able to retain that position. He's not too far off Max, but I don't think winning the championship is going to be a possibility anymore. I think there's only 4 more rounds to go, and Lando has 44 points over Carlos. We are in P6, 69 points off of the championship lead. So we are absolutely out of this championship fight. All we can do is really try and support our teammate and try and see if we can maybe get Carlos into second. Yeah, I feel like that's really what our job is at the moment. Absolutely, we seem to be the second driver at our own team for this season. Sainz has just been able to put in a bit more of a consistent performance. And I will say, probably had a little bit more luck as well with just reliability and whatnot. But that is all for this video, everyone. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to see more content like it. We're in the USA for the next round, which I'm really looking forward to. That's a track that I also really enjoy. So yeah, if you're looking forward to that, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.